Hello, my friends. John LaRuffa here with another straight up solo. And in this episode, we're going to be taking a look at Phoenix New Horizon. As always, from a solo standpoint, let's jump right in. Okay, folks, and as usual, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. And if you haven't, I really do appreciate that support. Thank you very much. So I am entering into the final round of a 4-round game here, playing against the solo bot, which is controlled completely with this little deck of cards and his little storing of pieces. This is my data quarter. It says data quarter. I don't know. Anyway, this is my basically like workbench to figure out what I'm doing. It has all the costs. It has all the rewards. It has everything going on for me. This is the player board where we are going to be taking our making an impact. And what are we doing in this game? Well, we're basically building these regenerators here, and then we're building housing, or like either housing, military spots, or like these laboratories. A little bit abstract, to be honest. But there are 3 types of regenerators. It's bronze, silver, and gold. There's those 3 types of housings. And you build them by paying the cost in fuel, which is the only currency you have in this game is fuel. Depending on where they are in your tableau here or your workbench. Now you take actions using this board right here, which is a worker placement board with all sorts of interaction stuff going on. And I shouldn't say interaction, it's more like linkages going on. So what you're going to have at the beginning of any round is you're going to have these folks. I'm the green, and you've got 2 standard workers and then this leader. They call them commandos, and then this leader commando. And then the opponent here is going to have the same. And what's going on is you are going to take an action in a row associated with the rest area that you're in, okay? So for instance, from here, I can take one of these 3 actions, or I could pay fuel to promote my guy to the next area. And if I want to take an action right away and not get potentially blocked by the opponent, I could pay just a little extra fuel to do this quick ascent and go right to it. And so you can promote yourself as high as you want if you have the fuel costs to go in that direction. There's also some other things where if, for instance, 2 people are over here, you can kind of get up to these actions for free, these 2, etc. And it's a mirror image, the same thing. However, each of these spaces is a variable token, so you don't exactly know which action is going to go where. When you start the game, you just kind of fill them in to provide some variety. The other thing you get some variety for is these little upgrade tiles. These are permanent game bonuses for scoring. These are instant rewards, and these are end game bonuses. And you get those for going on this space, and this space, respectively. Plus, if you get your guy all the way to the top, you'll be able to put your citizens in these categorical scoring spots. And I've got one ready for that right here. And that'll help you score points at the end of the game. So the worker placement is what this game is all about, and the main actions you can take are to build those regenerators, build those houses, move up on some of these tracks right here, which give you some instant bonuses and then also kind of raises your point threshold. You can take these, like I showed you before, from this area. You can get some missions, which you'll draw from here. You can move your citizens up the citizen track over there, which gets you instant bonuses. And the higher you get, if you get all the way up like I did here, you'll be able to score in a category over there. And so a variety of things like that, plus a multiplier for the 3 types of buildings that you would build. So for instance, I've moved this one all the way up in housing and the 4 length over there, or the 4 multiplier over there. So every housing spot I have, I will get 4 points at the end of the game. All right. And there's the 3 categories. So that's basically what you're looking at right here, okay? Now, how do I get it going? Well, it's a worker placement game, so you're going to take turns with the opponent placing your workers in those levels or promoting them to a higher level. And there's some nuances and intricacies like I described to you earlier. So I think it's just good for me to demonstrate what's going on. In the 4th round, you'll be going first. And basically, well, not necessarily, because you don't have to do that, but I'm going first. So basically, first of all, these are some specific bonuses you can get, like a first come, first serve deal. And if you have that, condition fulfilled, you would get some rewards like points and fuel. But I didn't get those done, and so they get flipped over automatically from the opponent. So what do I want to do first? Well, on my turn, I've got basically 3 actions. I definitely need to get this guy up here, and I might do that right away. And I also like to see about getting some of these endgame bonuses. And the best one would be completed contracts, as I've completed a bunch. They give me 6 points. I think that's the easiest thing for me to do. This is the most guaranteed. The other thing is maybe building. Nah, I didn't really build any of those. So I'm going to try to do that. So let's do that right now. To get to this one, do I have a way to do it? I don't think I actually do now that I look at it. Because if I'm reading this board right, this center place can only get to this guy. If I wanted to get this one up there, I'd have to go here. So maybe I have to do some serious promoting. And I have this whole bunch of fuel here, so I actually can afford it. So I'm going to do that because it's very important. So I'm going to pay 4, then 6. Let's see, does that get me where you go? Yeah, 4, then 6 to go right up here. And I don't need to pay to do it right away. So that's 10, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 fuel. And I can go right up through here and into this spot. Now, I didn't take the action yet. I just promoted him. I didn't need to spend that 1 extra fuel because I know that that spot will be available to me no matter what. So that is what I'm going to do for my turn. Now let's see what he does. You flip the card over. It's a very simple way to handle an automa. You look at the top tiered worker, in this case a 3 tier, and you would see what he wants to do. Well, he's going to score 8 points, and he's going to place a silver housing spot. So first we're getting the 8 points. So it puts him up to 43. And then he's going to place a silver housing on any of the silver regenerators. Now, there happens to not be any silver regenerators. So when that happens, he doesn't do anything. But if there was a... and also he's going to move to the farthest right spot and block that space for me over here. He never takes the actions on the board. It's only what's over here. Now, because that doesn't exist, there's no place. You can't build a house without a regenerator in place. He basically just does nothing. Because normally he's just gobbling up spots here. He's not getting rewards for any of this stuff. He will get some rewards for what he builds at the end of the game, but most of his points come through in-game bonuses and things like this, plus taking spots away from me on the scoring tracks. All right, and he also will do this in order of 8 to 1. So each of these regions are numbered 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And so he'll go 8 to 1, but sometimes it'll be the other round. It'll go 1 to 8. So he'll just look in priority order in that order. Very, very approachable and simple to see what he's going to do. So he's taking his turn. I've taken 1 turn. Now I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to just take this right now. So I move here, and a couple things happen. This is an interesting kind of situation. First of all, I move here. I get my choice of these. And I said I want to take this one. This one I will plug in right here. That'll give me 2 points for every completed contract at the end of the game. Plus, I get to draw an extra contract right now. And probably the best one to do it. These are all pretty hard to fulfill. So I probably am not going to be able to pull it off. But let's see if I've leaned into anything so far. Well, I have this here. So I have that. But I don't need this reward at all because I don't even have a person there to capture it. I have this here. So that's good. I do have this. So basically, if I can just build in this space, there's a chance I can do that. So we'll take this contract right here. I'm going to set it over here. I need to do some work anyway to get these done. Now, at the end of every one of your turns, if you have fulfilled the contract conditions, you can score it. Well, here, I have fulfilled this condition already. I've built one of these military buildings. Have I built a house in this area? No, I have not. So I would have to figure out how to get that done. Now, that was just from taking this contract, but I still haven't done the rest of this turn. When you land in one of these 4-tier spots, you immediately put your guy back to the first zone, which means you're going to be able to use him again in the same round, which is rare. And if you have a person, a little citizen waiting like I do, or a settler, you can put him in the track in the spot where it's going to go. And in this case, it'd be giving me rewards for building regenerators in here, which doesn't very much help me right now. So I'm going to try to do something about that before the end of the game. And it's getting close anyway. So let's see what happens next. He is going to take his level 1 and he's going to promote it. So he's going to promote it on the left side. So he's going to come up here because of that arrow. And we're going to discard this, cycle the contracts. Now coming back to me, I want to build this space right here. In order to do that, I need to, as it stands, have 3 fuel, which I do, and I have to have a person who is available to do that build action. And I happen to have that. So I'm going to put this one right here, and I'm going to build this for 3. It moves me up a power. I pay the 3 fuel. I'm going to put it here, and doing that rewards me immediately with 2 fuel back. So that's good. Plus, because I moved my power token up 1, I have now unlocked the citizen. I can put that citizen anywhere, or that settler anywhere I want. And I don't believe you can double up on the same thing. So I'm going to put him probably down here. It's a very rare chance I'm actually going to use. No. Well, I could put him here, but I'm not going to build any gold spots. So that's guaranteed that's not going to happen. I put him over here. Maybe I'll take him up the citizen track. Probably not. And there's no way I'm getting back up to the top of this. So he's out there. It's probably not going to do me any good. And the reason I got that lightning or that power is because I built the regenerator, and that moves this up 1 space. Okay, so my turn is done. Now, do I have anything that I've fulfilled? No, not yet. We go to the next one. He is going to take his level 2 placement guy, and he is going to move up 3 spaces, and he's going to go to the right side. So it's going to be 1, 2, and 3 over there. And then he's going to place a bronze building, and he's going to do it 8 to 1. Well, there's a bronze building here open right there. So he's going to put on 7. And that's it. Now, unfortunately, you can only do 1 of these per turn, which is frustrating because I need to do 2 of them in 1 turn, but that's not going to happen. I'm going to have to do this, but that's okay. So let's see. I need to build this house here. In order to build that house, I have to have 3 fuel. I happen to have 3 fuel. And I have to have a worker to do it. I have this worker right here who can do the house. I can actually build this one right here. So I'm going to move him over here. He is going to get a fuel because of the bonus there. Then build the house for 3. 1, 2, 3. I can build it from any spot I want that is at this level or below. In the case here, it's going to behoove me to build this one. I'm going to build it here. Now, because it's blue, it's going to fulfill one of my contracts. I don't re-get my bonus here. Oh, by the way, when I built this across here, I should have gotten a benefit right here, and I didn't take that, so I'll take it now. The reason is when you build a regenerator across the border like this, when you got 2 on one side from a border standpoint, you get a bonus. So I should have gotten a fuel, and I should have picked a contract. It doesn't matter because I'm not going to be able to fulfill any of these contracts. I'm just going to set it here. Who cares? I'm only going to be able to fulfill the 1. But I don't want to leave you hanging with a rules error. Okay, now I built that blue. That allows me to move one of these up. And since I happen to have an equal number of red and green, it doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to move the green up 1 space. Now, I fulfill the condition of this one right here. I built a house, and I built a red. I've also got this one right here, the one I just took. I got a red and, oh, wow. Okay, nope, didn't quite get it because this has to be on one of these slots. So I didn't quite get this one. This one was backwards. So this is the only one I got. So I'm going to fulfill this contract. Because I have a bonus here, I get 2 points for doing that right away. 1, 2, because of this. And, which I get the reward, which is moving one of these. I'll move this one again. And a fuel. So you can see how a lot of things in this game link together. That's a big part of this puzzle that you're trying to figure out. All right. So I have taken all 3 of my actions. He has 1 action left. So he's just going to go ahead, flip this over. Oh, looks like he's going to upgrade. He's going to go to the left side to upgrade. He's got 2 actions left. Sorry. So this guy is going to go here because he did not. Maybe I made a mistake. Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot to put this guy in that slot when I was talking through it. So this guy then upgrades here. We draw another card, and we are going to do this action right here, which is building a bronze regenerator, which he can't do since he built all the regenerators in the bronze section. And he's going to score 2 times the round, which is 8 points. That's going to give him up to 51. At that point, we've all done all of our actions. There's nothing left to do but pass. So we would pass, and then we would do, in this case, go right to the end game scoring. And that would be shown over here. Now, I won't go through the whole thing, but basically what happens is you're going to score for all the different categorical things that you've done throughout the game. You're going to score for the specific points of these right here for this. You'll score for the multiplier for the housing you've built based on your multiplier up there. And then any other, what is this? I don't remember what that icon is off the top of my head. But basically, oh yeah, right here, anything on your board. So on these, and I didn't actually able to move that up, so I'm not even going to get anything. So anyway, you're going to score all that stuff, and then you're going to figure out who's the winner. It's basically not a beat your own score at all. You're trying to beat the Automa, but the Automa has a couple of different difficulties, and the only difference between the difficulties is how many points the Automa scores for each of the buildings they've built. So on easy, each of the buildings is worth 1. Medium, it's worth 2. Hard, it's worth 4, and then there's, I think, an expert with 6. So you can really jack it up that way. But the actual Automa itself does not play any differently. Yeah, 1, 2, 4, 6. Does not play any difficulty or differently at all, depending on your situation. It only has that at the end. So you've really seen a quarter of the game without me going through the minutiae of scoring. Let me tell you what I think about it. So Phoenix New Horizons is a game I can get my teeth into when it comes to a solo experience. I like these kind of games where they are one large strategic puzzle, and that's what this is. There is an awful lot of information you have at the beginning to know what's going to happen. You have A, B, and C objectives, which I wasn't able to claim, but those kind of provide some ways to score points. You have the points coming in from the specific tiles that you can get. This is a game where you can plan a lot and then be prepared for the tactical aspect of the missions that come up, those contracts, that the cards you fulfill. I really find that very enjoyable. I like these kind of games a lot. There is a lot of variety in how the different bonuses and how the different things come up to do the setup. However, there are no asymmetric player powers. This is a game where, regardless of how you play it, you're going to play with the same tableau or same workbench every time and get the same types of rewards. That doesn't bother me. I saw a lot of people saying they were frustrated by that. I don't have a problem with that because there's so much variety everywhere else. Kind of remind me of playing like a game like Brass. There aren't any asymmetric nuances for that game at all, but yet there's plenty on how that game evolves, and I really enjoy playing Brass, although it's hard to play solo, even with, I know there's an Automa, blah, 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 blah. But you get my point. The point is that this game kind of harkens a little bit back to a time when you didn't need to have the asymmetric player power. I don't have any problem with that, and here's why. Because you're playing against an Automa. So immediately when I was playing this game, I thought of a game that I actually ended up selling a while back called Revive. And Revive had asymmetric player powers, and it was like a Terra Mystica style game, but that one was a complete beat your own score. You were just trying to maximize your score, and for whatever reason, that was just not exciting to me. Here, with the Automa, taking the spaces, moving the contracts away, blocking the worker placement that I want, doing all the things to get to break in faster than I am, taking the citizen, they're the settler tiles away as they go up. There's a lot more competition here, and I find it much more enjoyable. And so this game, I think, is a winner for me compared to Revive, which was more asymmetric in that regard, but it ultimately did not excite me compared to this. I can definitely see how people would say, "Oh, it's kind of standard and this and that," but I don't know. I really like this type of game. So if you saw stuff you like, where you have a lot of control over how you score points, you have a lot of things, and also here's the other thing that's really important about the enjoyment of this game: you cannot even come close to doing everything you want to do. It is very limited. I mean, if you really were to play it poorly, you're looking at only 12 actions. Now, you can string more actions together, as you saw me do, by getting up to the top and then going back down and being able to swing around and scrape out some more. But there's not a ton of turns in this game. You really have to make them count. And I think that also lends to the enjoyment of the puzzle for me as a solo player, to try to really maximize what I'm doing. Having that extra fuel gives you the flexibility to get up, like you saw me make that huge push to get up to the top end, so that I could get that end game scoring tile, so I could put my guy on the top, even if the top isn't going to necessarily work for me. The end game scoring tile was important. Plus, I was able to reset him and then go do something else, which was even more important, because you can't go backwards. You have to keep going up, as far as I know. I'm pretty sure that's the truth. So anyway, there's a lot here I think is fun from a standpoint of a strategic game that isn't crazy in the asymmetry. Who knows? Maybe they'll do some other things in regards to asymmetric powers and such. But I've really enjoyed this game as it is, and it will stay in my collection for a while until I thoroughly play it out. And who knows? Maybe it'll still be there. I'll just pull it off the shelf. I have no problems with this type of game. I really like it. I'm really enjoying it. And it also plays pretty quickly. You could definitely play this game in under an hour, especially when you know the game. The one gripe I will give it is I struggled with this rule book. And a lot of people have said that, but it is just a weird layout. It's like they talk about everything. It's all in here. You've got examples of everything you need. But I couldn't get a feel of the flow. I just couldn't get a feel of the flow. When I finished reading, I'm like, okay, I've read all the rules. I have no idea how I'm going to drive this car. I don't even know. And it is a weird situation because it has so many figures and it has so many examples. It's all there. It just left me feeling like, okay, I still just don't know what to do. And even though the game is really fairly straightforward on what to do, you're going to put your worker down and take an action. But the way that worker board is, it's just slightly obtuse. And it's going to make this first game that you're going to go through pretty tough. Once you play the first game and muscle through it, you're going to know how to play it from there on. And you'll be like, okay, this is no problem. But I would recommend, maybe getting a cheat sheet on the rules or whatever from someplace like Board Game Geek, just because there are a lot of different icons on here. And one thing that they really could have done, instead of stopping right here, is they could have taken all those icons and put them into some type of player aid. And I don't understand. That is my biggest gripe. This game would have been perfect with a player aid. I don't know why they left that out. That seems silly to me, especially since there's so many icons and so much going on with variations on the icons. So I like the game a lot. It's definitely, once you learn it, you can get through all those things. But that first play was way harder than it needed to be because of lack of information at my fingertips when I needed it during play. Regardless of that, really like the game. Highly recommend it for people who like this type of solo game. If you're looking for something with asymmetric player powers and a lot more variability in how you start, this is not going to be a good game for you. If you're fine with the fact that you're going to try all sorts of different strategies, and those strategies you can kind of get a plan together and then let it emerge and work it out, knowing that this game is a very tight game. There's a lot of scarcity in what you can do versus what you want to do. Then this game is for you. So thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, everybody. Whatever you do in the future, I really hope you have a fantastic time doing it. Take it easy.